What's up, beautiful people? In this video, I'm going to be talking about 10 things that I've experienced while driving in South Africa. Let's go! What's up, beautiful people, and welcome to another episode of Don't Keep Up With the Joneses. 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 What's up, beautiful people? It's me, Ricky Jones Jr., and I'm back again for another fun video. And this one is more experiential, if that's even a word. But this is all talking about experience, okay? 10 things that I've experienced while driving here in South Africa. Now, for those that don't know, I am from Tampa, Florida. Well, we still live in Tampa, Florida. We will be moving to South Africa this year. And so on this trip, I wanted to drive. And so here it is. First thing, we drive in South Africa. The drivers drive on the right side, which is definitely different than us in America driving on the left side. And the thought is that, oh, okay, you just flip to the other side and there's nothing to it. Not so much, okay? It took me probably about 3 days to really get acclimated to being on the right side. And when that is the case, it's everything, right? So even putting down your window is on the right side. Changing gears is on the right side. Putting on the blinkers is on the right side. Putting on the windshield wipers is on the left side. So in America, it switched. So like the first 2 days, I was just turning on the windshield wipers when I was trying to change lanes. And, you know, it was just chaotic, and I was just telling myself, stay to the right, stay to the right, stay to the right. And you know, that's a whole situation, right? Even when you get to intersections where there's no cars, you have to remind yourself, either if you're turning right, stay on the left side, or if you're turning left, just quick, boom, lefty, right? And you'll be in the left lane. So that was a whole but we made it, right? Okay, so that was number one. Number two is that there are motorcycles that are on the road as well with you, and these motorcycles usually are people delivering food. And so in the States we have Uber Eats and all that, but usually people are in vehicles. However, here most of them are on motorcycles with the big box on the back that, you know, it lets you know that they're delivering food. However, they will cut through traffic at stoplights. They'll like cut through the cars and make it to the top or the front of the lights. And that was new to me, right? Because I'm not used to people just driving, weaving through, right, on the norm. So that was a whole situation. And even on the road, they're pretty anxious to get to their destinations, which I get it, right? Who wants their food to be cold, or who wants to deliver slow? So I get why they do what they do. However, just be mindful when you are driving and riding around that is something that you're gonna have to experience, okay? Number three is that you exit on the left. Like, duh, it makes sense, right? Because, you know, you drive on the right, you exit on the left. When you drive on the left, you exit on the right. And so that's just another new nuance for me as well. Like when Crystal's my co-pilot, she lets me know like when to turn, all that good stuff, because I'm not looking at a phone, GPS, and drive at the same time. I'm not there yet, nor should I be, right? Because you want to keep your eyes on the road, not on a phone. Okay, you almost caught me, but I caught myself. And so in that, she tells me, okay, you need to exit the interstate on the left. And I'm like, man, this is new and tricky, but I'm getting it, but I'm telling you now so that when you do drive, or if you are driving, you already know, like, this is a nuance that we as Americans have to learn as we come over here to travel or live, right? So that's the thing to be mindful of. Now, they call them robots, we call them traffic lights. However, doing load shedding, which is a thing of itself, right? But there are times when the traffic lights, or as they call it here, robots, are off. And so you may come to a intersection, a four-way intersection, and their lights are off. And so you have to then turn it into a four-way stop, which is interesting at times, useful at other times, but it's a nuance that you have to like get your mind switched over to, because especially at night, it can be very difficult when you come up to an intersection. You may or may not know if that is an intersection. So I've driven past like two. I'm not even gonna lie. Driven past two, and after I passed it, I was like, oh snap, that was a traffic light, Crystal. But if there's no traffic, you don't know. But when there is during the day, right, either there are some times where people are directing traffic. So like that's, whew, thank you for you. However, when they aren't there, you have to just be mindful of who was there first, whose turn is it. Some of the times, like the first 3 days, I just did what the person to my left and my right was doing. If they went, I went. If they didn't go, I didn't go. And I was just, because, you know, when you like a new driver, you focus on the lines. I was focused on the lines. I wasn't looking up, around. Crystal was like, oh man, look at that. I was like, I can't. She was like, oh wow, that over there. I'm gonna have to see it later. Like, I'm locked in on lane line. I need to stay in the lines. And that's a whole nother thing too. My first day, right, coming from the airport, Crystal was like, oh, you going over, I had to, you know. But anyway, the robots, the lights, the traffic lights can sometimes go out, but it's okay. And I will say this, right, or on another note, that people do at the four-way stops when the robots are off, the lights are off, they are very respectful. Like, it's not chaotic, it's not hectic. You just have to be mindful and pay attention. And so that's another reason why I highly recommend that if you are driving here for the first time or you're new to driving here, you're not trying to do multiple things at a given time. If you're driving, that's all you need to be doing, driving, okay? That's enough to do. Don't try to do everything else. Don't be trying to change the radio and the air and looking at GPSs and looking at the person behind you. Like, no. You need to focus on mirror right, mirror left, the windshield ahead, and the rear view. Like, that's enough. That's already 4 views right there. I blew my mind that I was doing that me. But at the end of the day, boom shakalaka, there is that. And then, as I talked about the robots and things being off at night, there are very few street lights, which I am accustomed to having street lights. Okay, that is a thing that we do have on our roads quite often, and there are spaces here where there are street lights, right? I'm not saying that all of them are gone, but in a lot of places there aren't street lights, and so of course your headlights definitely need to be operable and doing what they need to do, or you're like just thankful that people are driving alongside you that they can light the roads, because there are sometimes, like I said, at night I've driven through street lights because I just didn't see them. I didn't know they were there unless traffic was coming. If I saw somebody coming from the right or somebody coming from the left, I'm like, oh, this is an intersection. The robot is just off. Let me be mindful and do it and treat it like a full-way stop. So like that whole nuance, right? Like all of this is happening while I'm driving at the same time. That's what I'm saying. If you're doing this for the first time, let this be the only thing that you do it, okay? And then it would start raining. Oh man, it's been raining a couple of days, so that is good, right? But even with the rain, like that's a whole nuance, because then you like the windshield wipers doing its thing, you nervous. It's draining. That's the word, draining, okay? But anyway, number 6, ladies and gentlemen. There are times where you come up to an intersection and it's your turn to turn right, and the light may not give you an arrow to turn right, so sometimes you just have to take it. Or, let me tell you this, and some intersections that they do have the right turn, it's a blinking green light, right? And so in America, the blinking light means you have the option to turn right if they allow you or if traffic permits, you know, coming from the other way. However, here, the blinking light is they're trying to go. And so I've had the blinking green light scenario, and I was sitting there like, okay, I'm gonna just wait and see if it opens up for me. And people behind me were honking. I was like, oh snap, like the person to my left was turning. I said, oh, I'm supposed to be turning too. And so that was a scenario where I did not know what I was doing, but now you do, where you get to drive in here in South Africa. So that's the thing. But then also there are times where you just have to take it, right? And so the light will turn green, and then that gives you the option to turn right. However, situation may not allow you to do so. So a thing here is that, you know, 1 or 2 cars, once the light turn red, they can go through. You know what I'm saying? It's the thing. I'm learning. What am I doing? I'm doing what the person to my left or my right is doing, and you know, as they go, I go, because I don't want nobody honking at me. I don't want no altercations or situations, because I'm new here, okay? And so that's a thing. That's a nuance that you have to be mindful of. Number 7. I have a question for number 7. There's a sign that I see on the interstate, and it's a sign of a camera and 80 kilometers, right? It's a circular sign that says 80 kilometers, and up under it, there's a rectangular sign that has a camera. My question is that like a speed trap where if you're going over 80 kilometers, they're gonna take a picture and you're gonna get a ticket? I hope not. You know, for the reasons that you're probably thinking of. But if so, definitely let me know in the comment section below. And not only are you letting me know, but you're letting others know that are maybe and will drive down here that, you know, 80 is the top speed that you want to go. And even to that point, people aren't speeding on the interstate, people aren't speeding on the highways, people aren't speeding on the roads, which is definitely a pleasure to me as I'm still filling things out, learning things, because you know, it's nothing like somebody zooming past you and you just trying, you know, your hands on 10 and 2, you're just trying to like focus, but it's none of that. So that is comforting that that doesn't take place, ladies and gentlemen. Number 8. Oh, when you're down here driving, there is a thing called like van taxis, okay? And van taxis are more of like your local taxis as opposed to like a regular taxi or a city bus. There are vans, like passenger vans and all that good stuff, but they are taxis, and they are some drivers, okay? I'm gonna say that with all due respect. They are drivers and they mean what they do. They're going where they're going. They're doing what they want to do, and people are just acknowledge that they have the capability of doing whatever it is that they want to do. So it's the white vans with like a strap, like a race strap going around it, and they can stop whenever they're turning hazard lights on, and they'll stop whenever. They honk a lot. You see a lot of hands out the driver window doing different things, and people just walk up. You know, people walk up, not on the interstate, but like the main roads and the side roads and things like that. People will walk up, get in. People will walk out, well, not walk out, but get out and, you know, walk from. They're like, it's a lot, but they do stay on the sides, right? It's not just uberly disrespectful when they're in the center lanes, but that's just something that you just have to be aware of and cognizant of, because they're going to do what they're going to do. But if you want to make sure you get safe to where you want to go, just be mindful that they're there, right? And so that's even a thing, truth be told, but I'll wait to the end. Number 9, great people, is that roundabouts are a real thing here in South Africa. Like, they believe in the roundabouts, and like in America we have a few, and the few are even new. However, here it's quite a few. Like, you're just gonna do a roundabout or two in your drive wherever you're going. It's gonna be a roundabout. So if you don't know how to use a roundabout, make sure you educate yourself. Make sure you look up some videos on how roundabouts work, how to get in, how to get out, how to make sure you're on the right lane when you're trying to, you know, go around, or your inside lane where you boom boom boom. Like, just get yourself up, okay? Most of the time there's 2 lanes on the roundabouts. Sometimes they're 1. So I say that to say, make sure you're not stuck in there. Make sure you're not, you know, trapped in the matrix. But make sure you can get in and out, because the roundabouts, they're gonna be here. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it ends us with number 10. And number 10 is that while driving here, I want you to know that you're gonna be driving. Things aren't just like close. You're gonna, you know, make some moves. You're gonna come up to stop signs, robots, roundabouts in the midst of your driving. And so don't think that when you come here, oh, it's gonna be closed and things like that. No, like, things are drives, like, in between each other. And so just be mindful. Stay on the left, right? If it's a one-way, just know that. Don't drive down the wrong way of a road. I haven't done that, thankfully, but I almost did. You know, I had to be aware, okay? I had to be aware. But in it all, with it all, great people, like, those are the main things. Stop signs are still stop signs. Yield signs are still yield signs. Red, yellow, green are still the things. And so, you know, all those things do translate around the world. It was one other nuance that I looked and I was like, oh man, like, that's a thing. Oh, when you're parking, I've seen that the handicap spots are yellow as opposed to blue in America. And so, you know, but it has the sign on the ground, so, you know, you're not just gonna be pulling up. But I almost did, but I was mindful because I looked down and I saw the wheelchair sign, which is unanimous and universal. So with it all in all, great people, I hope this video was beneficial to you, or just even give you knowledge of what you can expect when driving down here in South Africa. I have videos that I'm gonna post of different just drives from different places, so you can even get an aspect of what, or feel, yeah, aspect works too, of what things look like, or how the traffic grows and grows and grows and moves and all those different things like that. So be on the lookout for those when they drop. If you haven't already subscribed, I don't know what you're waiting on. Go ahead and do so, and click that thumbs up button because you like my 10 tips, and click that bell notification so that you are aware of when those videos drop, okay? Because many Johannesburg, South Africa videos are on the way, and so I definitely want you to be a part. So click that subscribe button so you can do so. Until then, great people, I love you all. I appreciate you all.